I think sometimes we all get so caught up in the idea. You got to race, you got to train, and it's all about the science, it's all about the sport. Sometimes you just forget that riding a bike to get around is a really pleasant and convenient means of transport. So I'm off to the pub. Yeah, I know, it's me talking to camera again rather than me riding a bike. So the problem is, I haven't been riding my bike much of late. The first problem was the whole re-landscaping of the garden. The idea of that was to make things nice and pretty for my wife's birthday party that we were hosting in the garden, which is a great time, but it kind of gets in the way of cycling. It takes up your weekends, it takes up your evenings, and before you know it, you've not been doing the training sessions that you'd hoped to be doing, and your fitness is falling off. And so that blue line that's heading down there, that's effectively my fitness falling off the edge of a cliff. That red line that's going uphill, that's my weight. My problem is I'm not very good at controlling what I eat, so I have to control my weight with training. I don't train, I gain weight. It's a problem. Some of you may know that I basically gave up racing 10 years ago, and it was very much because of this. You couldn't find the time to put in the hours of training, so your weight was going up, your form was going downhill. There was no point in racing because you were just getting torn to bits, and before you know it, you've spent 10 years without racing a bike. So I don't want to fall into that situation again. What do I do to make sure that I follow my training, that I find the time to do it, and I keep moving forward in terms of my fitness and my ability? So the number one thing for me, set some goals. Know what it is that you're actually working towards, because otherwise you just end up drifting. When I started training again back in November, I knew I wanted to be racing come April. So that was my goal. If I hadn't had that goal, I think there's every chance the training over the winter could have slipped. And I think it's also important to have intermediate goals. So I had intermediate goals about where I was going to be at Christmas, about where I was going to be come the reliability trial season, where I would be in terms of my club mates when I'm going out on a weekend and riding hard up hills into them. So make sure you've got goals. It keeps you on track, it keeps you focused, and it gives you something to aim for, because otherwise you'll just give up. If you've got a plan, you know what you're going to be doing, you know when you're going to be doing it, and you know exactly how you're going to be doing it. And that can be really important because it keeps you focused on what you need to be doing. If I know that I've got a 1 hour training session on a Tuesday that's going to be intervals working on my VO2 max, it's actually going to happen. If I just say, this week I want to ride 6 hours and I might be able to fit something in on a Tuesday, it's probably not going to happen. Probably going to get to Tuesday, it's going to be raining, or I feel tired, I won't go and do it. Get yourself a plan. There's loads of guidance out there on how to draw up a plan, and just make it specific. Say that on Tuesdays you're going to do this session, it's going to take this long and you're going to go there. On Thursdays it's going to be this long and you're going to do it with this group and it's going to be this sort of a session. On Saturdays you're going to do the club run, and stick to it, and because it's then so easy to make sure it happens. A lot of the plans that I use are actually just ripped off straight from Trainer Road. I mean, I use them on Trainer Road. If you haven't seen Trainer Road before, it's a great system, and I wholeheartedly recommend using them. The training plans are detailed, they're tailored, and I find them really motivating as well. I use them a lot on the turbo, where obviously they're designed for use on the turbo and it's very specific, but you can kind of apply it to out on the road as well. If it's a simple session of intervals over a given period, you can apply that to the road as well. Probably not as efficiently, but you can still do it if you'd rather be out in the sunshine. So get something like that. There's other plans that are available on the internet, or just do some reading and develop your own plan. It's all pretty easy to do. If you like something a bit more structured, you like some more guidance, go and get yourself a coach. Probably a bigger investment, but hey, a lot of you guys out there are spanking thousands of pounds on a pair of carbon wheels. A couple of £100 a year on a coach will give you far better results than spending money on more carbon. I think that really brings you on to the third point. which is make the sessions structured. You know, I was saying before that if you just go out and do 6 hours of training, you know, you'll probably drift. But at the same time, even if you say I'm going to do a 1 hour session on a Tuesday, you know, 1 hour of what? Make it structured. Make sure you realise where your weaknesses are, where you need to develop, and build a plan around that. And it's actually quite good fun trying to look at your own strengths and weaknesses and trying to formulate a plan from that. Now, how do you go about assessing that? Well, you know, I'm a huge advocate of using power. Again, it's another investment, but it's all about giving yourself the right tools to enable you to understand your own abilities and how you can be a better cyclist. So, you know, if you can do that, you can get a really, really structured session. And you know, certainly I've found that if you've got a plan that sets out exactly what you're going to do, sets out exactly how you're going to do it, and then you can get to the end of a training block and you can see exactly how it's benefited you in the ways that you intended. There's nothing more motivating than that, to know that you've put in place something that has improved you in exactly the way that you wanted it to. Do that and you're probably going to achieve far more of your cycling goals than you ever have done before. The one thing that you just have to remember as well, you can't train all the time. Rest and relaxation is as important as smashing out hard miles week after week after week. Sometimes you just need to take the foot off the gas and enjoy life a little. And whilst, you know, I started out this video moaning about, you know, the things that have got in the way of my cycling over the last few weeks, they were pretty good, and family is important. You know, there's other things in your life apart from cycling, and sometimes you have to find that balance. But hey, build it into your plan. Set your goals, get a plan, and keep it structured. Anyway, you didn't think I'd leave you without any cycling footage this week, did you? So here's some footage of the Tuesday night gang actually riding up a hill together in a controlled manner. Check it out.
He's a sensible brothers.
Peter's over, right, sorry. Yeah.
No!
Yeah.